Hey guys, we are back at Covenant, and today we are building a bar and entertainment area for the roaming pack members that are traveling the Commonwealth, as well as the pack members that live here outside the Covenant walls. Now, I had a lot of fun putting this build together, and it kind of grew into something I wasn't quite expecting, but I think it looks pretty cool. Now, today's video is just going to be the tour. I will upload the full build process here in a day or two, and if you don't want to miss that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I upload that video. With that said, let's get started, shall we? So we'll start things off by walking along the road leading up to Covenant. And you can see here there's a shipping container, and it's pretty rusted out. It's been pieced back together with some corrugated steel and some wood bits. And that leads us to a super mutant hound trap. Caution is correct. I don't think these guys are to be messed with. Now for this part of the fence, I tried to make it look as junky as possible so it would match the fence that was already lining the road. And then the structure that's right on the other side of that fence there, I wanted that to look pretty junky as well. So you can see there the roof is slanted, almost like it's gonna fall off at any moment. And of course, there's a mannequin pointing the way. I mean, they are raiders after all. Well, let's follow his suggestion and check out the bar, shall we? Now coming around this side, we can actually get a better look at that bar. And here we have our bartender wearing one of those shock collars. Don't think she's here by choice. And you can see out on top of the bar there's some food laid out, as well as some alcohol and Nuka-Cola. Now coming around this side of the bar, you can see there's some more alcohol stored underneath the bar, as well as some empty bottles. We have some crates of beer behind the bar there, and it looks like a cap stash tucked under the bar as well. Now, across from the bar here, we have some storage, and I figured this bar is probably going to sell some general purpose goods for any of the traveling pack members. You can see some makeshift batteries and ammo, as well as some paint. I mean, this is a pack settlement after all. You know how much the pack like to paint stuff. And over here, we have our first viewing area for the festivities that happen in the water pit. You can see some storage here. Looks like an empty beer crate. These guys look to be pretty heavy drinkers. And you can see there that they're gambling on the festivities. Looks like a cap stash and ammo, as well as some jet up for grabs. Oh, that guy there only has 4 caps left. Hate to see how he's gonna react when he loses those. Now coming down this path here, we can see some of the standing area. And this guy has some beer, as well as a cigarette, it looks like. And a pretty decent view of the fight. Looks like there's a combatant that didn't quite make it. Wonder how long they're gonna float there. You can get a better look at the fence there, as well as some junk just laying about. I mean, it is the apocalypse after all. And that brings us to a VIP area. You can see they have a pretty comfy couch supported by some cinder blocks, and some food and chems laid out on the table, as well as some protection, it looks like. Never can be too safe, I guess. And turning around this way, we get a little better view of what they might see in the VIP area. Not a very big arena, but it gets the job done. And then over here we have yet another seating area. Looks like these guys have been drinking as well. And they have a pretty decent view of the action also. Over here we have a little makeshift stove. Looks like some raw meat as well. What is that? Mirelurk meat, I guess? Well, they are next to the water. That makes sense. Now climbing up these rocks, we have the entrance to the arena. It's where you would toss the combatants in and watch them fight. Now over here we have a little bit of worker storage. I figured the traveling pack members, they might have some workers in tow, and they'll need a place to store those guys while they're, enjoying what Covenant has to offer. And so we have a little cell here with a view of the battle, as well as a severed head keeping an eye on them. That's gotta feel good. Let's close that up and take a look at this side of the bar. And you can see that jail cell is supported by some cinder blocks as well as a little bit of sandbags. I figured after 200 years, a lot of the stuff might be falling apart and have to be kind of pieced together. Oh. Looks like she might have had a little too much. I think it's time to go sleep it off. Well, let's go ahead and jump to the other side and check out what we skipped. Over here we have another seating area with some alcohol and food laid out next to the fire there, as well as some chems and cigarettes on the other side of that couch there. Now let's check out this shipping container. Looks like we have some chem manufacturing. Not sure what they're boiling over here, but it can't be that safe. And on the table here, we have more chem manufacturing. Now I shrunk down some of the campfires and put it on that hot plate there, just to add a little bit more, life to the scene. You can see there a bunch of chems and plants. Looks like some fertilizer there as well. And over here on these shelves, we have the finished product, all laid out in bins, ready for use, as well as some radioactive material. Not sure what they need that for, but I'm not going to ask. And then on the other side of the shelf here, we have some chemicals for chem making, as well as some junk. Looks like they're harvesting plastic. That'll go well with the fertilizer there, make a little jet. Now let's check out the final seating area. And we can head up this makeshift ramp. And we get a decent view of the road there, as well as this part of the settlement. And you can see a pair of seats perched up here. Looks like they have some jet and psycho. What is that? Blood bug meat? Well, I guess you can't be too picky in the apocalypse. Well, let's see what it looks like being a combatant. Well, here's the view from the ground floor. You can see the ledge where they would have pushed you into the pit, as well as the storage area for some of your friends. And then, of course, you get a view of the people watching you fight. Got a little bit of chain link keeping you separated. I really like how junky this place looks. I know I say that a lot, but I just like junky builds. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. Drop me a comment down below if you have any questions for me about this build or any of my other builds, or you have any thoughts on what I should build next. Subscribe if you want to see my next video goes live. It will be a build process of this build, and then a couple more videos before we get to build up the inside of Covenant. And then I have some pretty exciting stuff planned after that. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and until then, enjoy your time in the Commonwealth.